How is your family doing, Dee? If y'all don't know, this is Dee Ross, independent candidate for City County Council. He is here not for that, but he had a tragedy in his family. His brother was in a car. Police got to chasing him and ran him into a tree. And he's deceased. So we're going to talk about that, police community relations, with a focus on how the treatment that we get in our community is not sensitive, in my humble opinion. But Dee, how's your family doing, man?
Yeah, my family ain't doing too well. It's a rough time right now. I'm just asking that everybody in the community keep us in your prayers and continue to pour out love to our family in this time of need.
Yeah, well, we're planning on doing that, and I understand that you want people to continue to pray, and we will do that, unceasingly. And to my understanding, there's going to be a prayer vigil tomorrow at 6:30 at 32nd and DeQuincy. So we plan on being there, but let me do a slight commercial here. If y'all want to support this program, we have apparel, and this is one of the T-shirts that actually a brother from California has bought, which we're going to be shipping out here, and we really appreciate your support. So we're getting ready to start here, so buckle up. For some of y'all, it's going to be a rough ride. We actually are going to be talking about police-community relations in light of the experience that has touched bases with Dee Ross and his family. And we're going to expand that because there's some things going on that are connected. There's no coincidences, so buckle up. We're getting ready to get after the naked, butt naked. Welcome. For those who don't know, this is Elder Mmoja Ajabu, your host for After Naked Truth. This program is dedicated to stripping the clothes off of well-dressed lies. And so if you are antagonistic with the truth, then I would suggest that you situate yourself elsewhere, because we're going to be looking for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. You're listening to the most truthful talk show host in the business, unbought, unbossed, and truly unafraid. So buckle up, because today we're going to talk about police-community relationships. And when you talk about police-community relationships, it's on the decline. It's not getting better. It seems like if you get stopped by the police, and it's just a traffic stop, that your life is in jeopardy. Today's guest that you, and I don't have to introduce Dee Ross. If you don't know Dee Ross, then you don't live here in the city. Dee Ross is known by everybody. He's a young man. He's a leader that has his tentacles in just about everybody's camp. I mean, I think that he is crucial to the unity here in this community, because everybody can relate to this young man. When you talk about people of my generation and older, you know, most of us have a history to where we done had this experience with one another, and we done had this experience with the other, and it causes us not to be able to come together. But Dee has shown that he can get in everybody's camp, and he can talk to everybody. And he done a video that says that it's time for us to come together. I agree. If we don't come together, then we're going to perish. Dee, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jabu.
My pleasure, my brother. I'm concerned that I'm having you under these type of circumstances, because I know that tragedy has visited your family. Your oldest brother was stopped by the police, actually chased by the police. They saying that he ran a stoplight, but we can't put any faith in what the police say. The police lie, delay, and hope we die because they done delayed things so long so that we don't get after the truth. But we're going to get after the truth if we have to do it from generation to generation. So please share with us, how's your family doing?
Yeah, you know, this is a very difficult time for us. Rough time, and we're trying to stay strong and get through this difficult time. We're asking that everybody keep us in your prayers. Keep continuing to lift us up with love. So I really appreciate you having me on here to speak our truth, bring awareness to this situation, because as you can see, we haven't had a lot of media coverage at all. No reports on this situation from the police department to the media in our own city of Indianapolis.
Just for a second, put up that still shot so people know, because some people may not be aware. Put up the still shot of IMPD man dies after crashing car into a tree during chase. That person that died is Dee Ross's oldest brother.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And this report is by Fox 59, and that was just released yesterday, and the incident happened Sunday evening. And we're trying to get to the root problems on what really occurred. We haven't got any feedback from IMPD. They have not reached out to us. We don't know the probable cause. And nothing justified the SWAT team coming on the scene before the EMT. There was no ambulance to arrive for approximately 45 minutes to an hour.
So we're talking about that the SWAT team showed up, no coverage, but with today's technology, as you can see coming up now, there was video taken by people that were on the scene. And if people on the scene had not taken the video, then we wouldn't really know what went on. And so we want to thank those people who are our reporters, who are our journalists, who are helping us to understand what's going on in the community, because we're under assault. And see, it's hard for me to not believe that this assault is intentional when you talk about my brother, because of how vocal he is in the community. Go ahead, Dee.
Yeah, it's just disheartening, you know. Just thankful that civilians was out there to record it. We got multiple videos showing different angles. And, you know, in the news report that was released last night, it stated that he was moving around, but the video clearly showed otherwise, that he was unconscious, not moving around, not in a state of understanding any directions or any instructions from the SWAT team or IMPD It clearly shows that the ambulance didn't arrive to 45 minutes after the situation happened. It clearly showed that civilians begging the police not to shoot my brother, to check to see if he's unconscious. This is why he's not responding. But despite of all those things, they reacted like he was just a mass murderer. You know, like he killed, like he was one of those people who killed a lot of people in those mass shootings. They treated him how we've been being treated for the last 400 years. There was 30 police officers on the scene for one black man. Nothing justifies that many police officers. And it's in the policy that IMPD can no longer take part in pursuing high-speed chases. I did my fair research, and it's not even in the policy anymore to do such a thing. It's not up to them. We have not heard anything from IMPD. It's odd. Most of the officers on the scene had body cameras. We need to see that footage. The community is asking to release that footage. You had dashboard footage. Please release it. Give us a legitimate statement on what occurred from point A to point B to the crash.
We too often find ourselves here, standing with the family. And Dee has stood with many a family. He's standing with the family of Deshaun. What's Deshaun's last name?
Deshaun Downey.
Downey. Who in a van, passenger in the van, come up dead at the hands of a police action shooting. And again, we don't know the probable cause. Under what auspices did the police stop the car? We're looking at Dee's brother. What's your brother's name?
Dennis Wayne.
Dennis Wayne. Stopped by the police. They say he ran a stop sign. Is that reason to chase somebody? Somebody ran a stop sign, and the police get so hyper that they jump in and start a high-speed chase, a stop sign?
And it couldn't have been a severe high-speed chase because he was already in the neighborhood. If it said stop sign,
you can't go too fast.
You can't go too fast on the street.
What was he on, 32nd Street?
He was on 32nd Street.
32nd Street probably is
as
wide as this table.
Yes.
You can't go fast on 32nd. And so what? He ran a stop sign. And that's no reason to enact a high-speed chase. A stop sign, not a murder, not a robbery, a stop sign.
And what justifies them calling the SWAT team?
Nothing. I mean, the man done hit a tree. When he hit the tree, it probably knocked him unconscious. And if you look at the video and the description of eyewitnesses on the scene, they say when they took him out of the car, his head was bashed all in. He was suffering a very traumatic injury. He was probably unconscious, but the police looked like that they wanted to create a scenario towards that they could go in and kill him or let him die. And I am not opposed to thinking that they done it because they knew he was your brother. We've had, you say, well, Paul, look, if you're afraid of the truth, I'm telling you, situate yourself elsewhere. Because we going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. You say, Ajabu, why would you say something like that? Well, there's a history, a recent history. When you look at the people that stood up for the people in Ferguson, 6 of them youngsters done come up dead. Because they stood up. You want to make me think it's a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. There's a Malcolm Nance who used to be an intelligence officer for the CIA. he was being interviewed, and he said it's hard work to make a coincidence. There's no coincidences. And just like those people who stood on the front line in Ferguson, for people like Dee has been standing on the front line for people here in Indianapolis, those people are dead. They didn't come after him, and I'm saying that they're not beyond coming after his brother. What you say?
You hit it right on the nose, man. It's just so many unanswered questions that we have that we need answers to. And it's no coincidence.
No. And see, now watch this. See, people that are in power are upset with Dee because he's running as an independent. He's not, he wouldn't sign the oath that said that under any circumstances he would not say anything wrong against a Democrat, whether they be right or wrong. Yeah, they sign an oath. They call it an agreement. They sign an oath. And this oath says that they're not going to say anything bad against a Democrat. The Republicans signed the same oath. Because Dee Ross is his own man and got the nerve to be a man, when he went to run for city county council, they came up with some reason why he couldn't run. They had given him $60,000 to fight crime, to try to stop this kind of stuff that his brother has experienced, which he's doing a yeoman's job doing. They said, look, if you run against the incumbent, Lakeisha Jackson, then we'll take the money. He told them, take the money. They come out and said, oh, no, we didn't say that. Well, they lying. We know they lying. And if you think that they're not coming after our brother because he done stood for you, the question becomes to me, from me, for him, for us, to you. How are you going to stand aside and let this stuff continue to go on? We are losing lives. We are having a war waged against us. I'm telling you, I'm unbossed and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. You are listening to the most truthful talk show host in the business. We got to stand with Dee and his family at times like this. Tomorrow, 32nd in DeQuincy, at 6:30, we're going to get together and pray. But see, the prayer is not going to be any good if you don't show up and show out when it's time for us to put the pressure on the powers that be to say, free the information that you have surrounding my brother's death. When you talk about Deshaun Downing, who Dee has stood on the front line for, who has stood in the gap for, to my understanding, have they released the police report on him? Have they released the autopsy, my brother?
No.
No! See, this is the reason why we need a city county councilor who will put the pressure on the powers to be to say, release the information. We need a representative. Right now, we just got Lakeisha Jackson sitting in the seat. Where is she? What has she said? Have you known any elected official to say anything about these things that are going on about your brother?
Don't recall, no.
About Deshaun?
Don't recall, nope.
How are they representing us? We need a man that is a man of the people. And he has proven that he is a man of the people. He stood with the people. And now, because he stood with the people, I'm not opposed to saying that it has caused death in his family. I'm telling you, I'm unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. My question is, are you afraid of the truth? Will you stand with the truth? Will you stand with a man that stands for you? If you got a problem, you come to this man and the police has shut down your family member. He stands with people like that. It's time for us to stand with him. Give me my clock.
Thank Derek Snipe. You're 20 minutes in. Thank Derek Snipe. Derek Snipe said he'll stand with you, brother.
Derek, you've always been a man. Do you know Derek?
Yeah, that's a great brother of mine. He's always been for the people.
And we need you, Derek, to share this video, to stand on, to come tomorrow at 6:30 at 32nd and DeQuincy. We're going to pray, and we're going to pray like we've never prayed before. It is time for the God of justice to show up and show out. Now, see, we don't have to worry about God being there. God going to be there. We got to worry about you being there. Will you be there? God done gave you life. He done gave you strength. We're giving you information. Now what we want you to do is use the life that God has given you so that we have truth, justice, and equality in this place called America. Tell your family we're going to stand. I am. We're going to be there with you. We're going to be there for you. And we're going to put pressure on the people that need pressure being put on them to help get justice in this situation. Why would they? See, I don't know if I even assume that the police is telling the truth. And it's hard for me to do that the way the police lie. But if I assume that what they're saying is true, that your brother ran a stop sign and he hit a tree. Obviously, he hit a tree. But if you look, they're standing around and talking about, well, we're going to treat it like he is a, what did they call it?
Terrorist.
Well, that ain't the language they use, but that's how they treated him. And I can't come up with the language, but a boarded up suspect. And so instead of treating him like an injured man, calling the medic, they throw a flash bomb talking about we tried to get him his attention. And you can hear him, come out, come out. Well, he can't come out if he's unconscious. And when they broke the window, they found out that he was unconscious. When he hit the tree, he more than likely was unconscious. And so with them going through all those police shenanigans, what they did is they just bought time and delayed so your brother died. They didn't want to kill him, but they wanted him dead. And I'm not afraid to say that because he was your brother, he is your brother, that they took that type of position.
The biggest thing that stood out is they pronounced him dead before he was actually dead. They pulled out the yellow tape like he was already dead. It's on video saying that he was pronounced dead. The EMT said he died on the way to the hospital. He wasn't dead. So if the EMT would have arrived for at least 45 minutes prior to the situation, he could still possibly be with us today.
He might have survived the crash. So in actuality, the police's inaction or their intentional action not to get medical personnel on the set caused his death.
And with the coroner report, it shows that they was trying to revive him through his throat. That means he couldn't breathe. They was trying to get air into his lungs. And he had blood at the back of his head. we trying to figure out these answers to our questions because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up to, you know, if he couldn't breathe and he was unconscious, they threw a grenade launcher in there, which is formed to suffocate you, to get you out of the vehicle. If he took all of that, breathe all of that in, that could possibly kill you.
And plus, there's a flash. There's fire. So it wouldn't surprise me that he has burnt injuries. And then, see, as I'm thinking that, you know, my undergrad degree is in electrical engineering. And so I try to look at the facts and draw conclusions from the facts. If you done fired a flash bang, did you fire that in the car?
Right.
If you fire that in the car, then you know he wasn't moving. Did you throw it up under the car? You said that you was trying to get his attention. All them police cars, and you see all those police cars, anybody in the black community, you got their attention if all of that is going on.
I mean, nothing justifies them going to that extent.
No.
Failing to stop at a stop sign and run into a tree. I mean, he didn't have a gun.
No.
He wasn't considered a threat.
No.
If he did allegedly flee the scene and ran into a tree, like you said, then why was the SWAT team called in the first place?
And see, all of that is not a crime. I mean, it's an infraction, but it's not a crime. And so they done call all those police on the set because a vehicle ran a stop sign and ran into a tree. Make that make sense to me. That's what you do in war. I'm a Vietnam veteran. If you see somebody hustling away, then you go after them because you don't know why they hustling away, because they might be the enemy. And that's how the police is conducting themselves in our community. We run, he must have done something. And so now, because we done ran, they killing. Because we driving away, they killing. That's what happened to Aaron Bailey. He drove away, they had an accident, they killed him.
And then you continually to see that people who conduct these mass shootings are taken in unharmed.
Who are white. See, if you don't understand race in America, everything else will confuse you. You can have a white person in El Paso kill up a bunch of people because he think he don't want no brown or black people in the country. Kill them up. Police arrive on the set and they say, "Now, Johnny, put your gun down. You know, now we don't support what you're doing, but we're gonna have to take you in. You know." But he survived. What's that boy out there in South Carolina? Ran into the church, killed a bunch of people praying. And see, why I'm saying that, men, when we do this prayer vigil tomorrow, see, we need for you to come and put a circle around the vigil. Because we don't know if somebody won't take advantage of us praying to come and try and shoot them. Ajabu, why would you? Because they've done it before. They ran up in the church, killed 9 people. A white boy, just because he thought that he was superior, just because he was white and male. That same mentality is right here in Indianapolis. In fact, it seems like to me, if you look at the video of the way the police conducted themselves in the investigation or the interaction with your brother, that looked like a white supremacist interaction. And I happen to see a brother in one of those blue uniforms. What are you Negroes doing? Are you so bent on a job and hanging out with them type of people that you will be traitors to our race? Brother, we're going to stand with you.
Right.
Appreciate you coming to the show. And we will stand. You've been listening to Elder Mmoja Ajabu, your host for After Naked Truth. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Blessed are those who struggle, for oppression is worse than the grave. It's much more noble to fight for a cause, and we're going to fight for justice for Dee Ross. It's much more noble to fight for a cause than to live and die enslaved. You know my question for you. You ready?